Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Book Journey Mentor Uncut. But first of all, who am I and what am I doing? My name is, sorry about that, my name is Danni Blechner. I am an author, book journey mentor, founder of a company called Conscious Dreams Publishing. We work with authors from all over the world to help them to get their powerful messages and stories out there on a global scale. So you are watching Book Journey Mentor Uncut. We air every Wednesday, 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. EST. I'm just inviting my guest on right now, 2 p.m. EST. And this show really is about giving a platform for authors to share their stories, to share their book journey, to talk about the message of their book, and also just to give a real insight into what it's like behind the scenes of publishing a book. Often we see the finished product, the result, the book itself, but we don't actually know what goes on behind the scenes to create the book, and also the vision. That is, there you go, Diana, the vision behind creating that book. Hey Joanna, nice to see you. Hello Sharon. So if you find this of worth and of value, please do send this out, invite your followers. I'm trying to invite people at the same time as talking. I always find it really difficult. I like to focus on one thing at a time. So this show really is to give a platform for authors, whether you're published to Conscious Dreams or not, and give them opportunity, hey Richard, to share their story and their journey. Hey Karen, Karen's one of our authors, so is Joanna. It's also an opportunity to learn about the publishing process and the writing process and what goes on beyond the scenes through interviews with people who are in the book publishing industry. So whether it is traditional publishers, whether it's editors, whether it's designers. I've interviewed some of my designers here. Hey, I'm glad you're looking forward to this, Sharon. That's awesome. I've interviewed some of our illustrators here. Typesetters are responsible for the interior design of the book, and experts like PR experts, marketing experts. Hey Celestine, you're on, brilliant. Let me give you a wave. So it's really an opportunity for you to really learn about what goes on into building the vision to create to create a successful book, because it's easy to think it's just about author and publisher. We are just tiny parts of a major process. You have editors, typesetters, illustrators, PR, so many different people involved in that process. As I am just inviting some people on, I want to remind or let you know about a workshop I'm running called The Power of Your Story. Now, The Power of Your Story is something I love doing. I do it twice a year, 2 or 3 times a year. Karen, who's on right now, hey Laurville, is one of our authors who attended the Power of Your Story workshop. We're starting it up again on Saturday, the 2nd of February, and then the 9th and the 16th. Each week focuses on a different aspect of the publishing process as well as the journey itself. We have 4 great speakers, experts in their field, because I said it's about building the vision. We're not teaching you how to publish. I've got an online course for that, which I'll be launching soon. We don't teach you how to publish. We help you to create a clear vision. So finding out what your why is, what your message is, who is your core audience, how are you going to reach that audience, what retailers do you want to contact to get your book into the bookstores. What press do you want to what press coverage do you want? So we look at the whole picture. We've got and we look at how to structure your book on the first day as well. The second day we have the amazing Haddie, who is Harry Folivy, who is a PR expert. He's going to be talking about how to get your book in the press. The second half of that day is run by Janine Cummings, my first mentee, the #1 UK female live streamer, who is going to be running a workshop on how to get your book out there using live streaming. The third day is all about creating vision boards, creating a vision for our book, but also we have the amazing Simone Vincenzi, who is a TEDx speaker. He sold over 2,000 books at live events, and he had 200 speaking gigs booked for that particular year. So he's going to be running a workshop on how to monetize your story and expertise. So whether that's building online platforms, online courses through your book, seminars, workshops, one-to-one services. So how to use your book to leverage your business. Really, really phenomenal speakers we have who offer so much value. Our early bird prices run out on Monday, so I'll be advertising it a bit more than it's for 10 authors only. We have a few spaces left, so please do let people know about it. I've advertised it on my Facebook page. I'll put a link in the thread as well. So as we're coming into the broadcast, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. and just drop up some emojis for me. If you're watching on the replay, put your hashtag replay. That would be awesome. I hope you're all having a lovely day. So today, as I said, this is about highlighting up and coming and established authors. But today we have a really special guest. This guest is called Mekelle Angel, who goes by the name of Angel. That's her pen name. She is 13 years old. She is extremely gifted, extremely talented, and extremely hardworking. Those three things together are powerful. She has written an 84,000 sci-fi novel. Yes, I said it. 84,000 sci-fi novel called XXIV Unbreakable. So sorry, it's sci-fi fantasy called XXIV Unbreakable. Really great book, and I have a copy of it here. We got the proof copy through a couple of days ago. XXIV Unbreakable. I am going to be inviting her into the broadcast. Please do show her some love. Invite your followers. This is the first time that she is doing a live interview right now. So please do send her some love. I'm going to be inviting her on. Here we go. Into the broadcast. This is a very interactive show. So if you have questions for Mekelle, please do not hesitate to throw them up, and she will answer those questions as best she can. Please give her a lot of love and encouragement. This is the first time she's doing it. As I said, she's only 13 years old, based in West London, a shining pinnacle of what you can achieve with your gift and talent, and the mindset to want to achieve and put the hard work into actually creating something amazing. Just bringing her in. Hey B, hey Fiona, nice to see you. Hello Caroline, hello Denzel, hello Tanya, hello Lorville, hello Karen. Okay, I'm hopefully gonna be, she will be coming onto the camera any moment now. Any moment now. So if you could just throw up a comment, please, Celestine, and let me know that you're there. Hopefully you got my request. Let me try again. Okay, so I'm inviting you into the broadcast now. Let's put all our good energy into imagining and visualizing Mekelle coming up on the right hand side of the screen any moment now. We've got lots of amazing questions to ask Mekelle, so we can hear from her what inspired her to write the book. What does she find challenging? And what's been the most rewarding about being a published author so far? So her book is called XXIV Unbreakable, Find a Limit, Break It. Really powerful book, really well written, really gripping. And she's taught me a thing or two about sci-fi and fantasy. It's not really a genre that I know that much about. But through research, I've learned quite a bit, and I'm actually quite into sci-fi now. So she's written, you haven't got a request. Okay, so and I'm responding to it by clicking approve. So you should, it says you will receive a request asking to bring you onto the camera. So when you get that, if you click accept, you should be able to come onto the camera anytime now. So we're going to be interviewing the awesome and amazing Angel, Mekelle, who's written a book called XXIV Unbreakable. She is only 13 years old. This is her first book. This is the first one in a series of 4. She's going to be having her book launch on Saturday, the 26th of January at the Holiday Inn in Wembley. It's also the same day as her book release. So please do watch out for that. I'm going to put a link to her book and the book launch down below. If you're a teacher, if you have connections with schools, if you have connections with libraries or bookstores or press, please let them know about this awesome and amazing girl. 13 years old, she's written an 84,000 word sci-fi fantasy novel during the summer holidays. because she says she was bored. You know, the way in which she said it's so. I was just, what inspired you to write? Oh, I was just bored. It was something to do, but just the gravity of what she's written is is not something that you would think was done so quickly just to pass the time. It really is a masterpiece, and I'm really proud of her. Hello, Carol. Nice to see you. Okay, so I'm going to invite you again. I'm not quite sure why it's not allowing you to come onto the broadcast. Does anyone else have these problems inviting people onto broadcasts at all? Is it just me? We did a test the other day and it worked really well. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, let me see if I can ask you, invite you on this one here. Hello, Shelley. Hello, Carol. Nice to see you. I'm going to be interviewing the lovely Mekelle. I'm going to try and invite her into the broadcast again. I'm going to try on my other phone because for some reason, unknown to man, it's not wanting to allow me to do it, which feels really mean as well. Okay. Thank you for staying with us and thank you so much for watching. Let me try again here. Okay. Meanwhile, as you're coming into broadcast, please do tap the screen, show us some love, let us know where you're watching from and how your day's been today. That would be lovely. I'd love to know. If you're new to this broadcast, my name is Danni Blechner. I'm an author, book journey mentor, founder of a company called Conscious Dreams Publishing. We work with authors from all over the world to help them to get their powerful messages and stories out there on a global scale. We've published over 40 books in the last 2 years. Our youngest author was just 15 years old. She's written, she wrote a poetry anthology called Poetic Thirds. She wrote over 100 poems in honour of her father who passed away 2 years ago. Now we have our not another youngest author, but now our youngest author is 13 years old. Her name is Mekelle Angel, who goes by the pen name of M. Angel. She's written an 84,000 word sci-fi novel. Please bear with me because I'm trying to invite her onto the should work now. I've got a good feeling about this coming up on the right hand side and put my energy towards it. So I'm going to be interviewing her right now. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Mekelle. She's going to be talking about the inspiration behind her gripping book, XXIV, Unbreakable, a sci-fi fantasy series. So I'm inviting you again. It should say adding. I'm inviting you. Yes! Hi. How are you doing?
Good. You?
Excellent. I'm good, thank you. I'm just so glad that I managed to get you on. Fantastic. Thank you so much. So please, if you are watching, please do share this out. Invite your followers. We've now got this beautiful young lady on who's written, she's really worked hard on this, an 84,000 word novel, XXIV, Unbreakable. Here's her book. 84,000 words, gripping story. She wrote it during the summer holidays. She's only 13 years old. And there's her lovely mummy, Celestine. How are you?
I'm good. You?
Fantastic. I'm good, thank you. Who has supported her along with her father as well throughout this whole process. So I've got lots of questions for this amazing young lady. And I know that you're going to have lots of questions as well. So let's get started. So Mekelle, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How does it feel to be a published author?
Does it feel real?
It doesn't feel real. Okay. It's good. We only got the proof copy through yesterday, wasn't it? So it's quite new, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to release the book on Saturday, the 28th. So welcome to Book Journey Mentor Uncut, doing excellent so far. So tell us a little bit about writing. Is that something that you love? Is it something that you've always done? Have you always written?
I think I started writing when I learned how to hold a pencil. I used to make these little paper books. I used up all paper in the house, and it would not. So I think it's worth it now.
Amazing. So you used up all the paper in the house. How much paper was there, Mum?
We had about 500.
Wow.
Yes, she used to use a stapler, make a book, fold it like that, and then she would be writing. And she has all of them under her bed. She has over 30 to 40 copies under her bed, and she still read them.
Amazing. So when you're older, Mekelle, you can say, maybe you'll have more books after this. Obviously you will, because you're writing a series. You can say, well, I first started out writing on paper and I stapled it together, and you can hold it up. I've got a similar book I wrote when I was 10. I made it out of paper and I hand drew everything, and I wrote the barcode on, and I use that to show people, look, I started doing this when I was 8 and now I'm a published author. So really, I think it'd be really good to keep those as well. So do you have a favourite subject in school? Because you like writing. Is your favourite subject English, or is there something else?
Computer science and art.
Computer science and art. Okay, amazing. Fantastic. And what is it you like about those subjects?
They're just as creative as you can get. I mean, computer science is just coding. You can create games, you can create whatever you want. And art is literally just drawing, building, designing, everything I like doing.
Beautiful. So it's all about sort of using your creative imagination. Yeah. So what about reading? Is reading something that you love doing as well? Hi, Andrew. Hello, Nicola. Is reading something you like doing as well?
Yeah, I would read a lot as a child, and admittedly, I stopped reading a bit, but then when I started this process, I realized there are a lot of good books out there. So I started reading a lot more of them, and I found that reading is just as fun now as it was before. And so
Amazing.
I'm reading a lot more now.
Oh, great. I'm glad you got out that phase then of not reading as much. What sort of books are your favourite? Do you have a favourite genre? Do you have a favourite author?
Yeah, I love sci-fi, fantasy. I like teenage melodramas because they're the most
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
My favorite author, I have to say, is J.K. Rowling.
Yes, sister. She's my favorite, one of my favorites as well. Tell me why. What do you love about J.K. Rowling?
A Harry Potter series. I have a bit of an obsession. They're so cool. It's inspiring because I've seen a movie made about her, and she picked herself up from almost nothing and made herself who she is today, and that's such a good inspiration for young people.
Exactly. That's one of the things I say as well, what I love about her. And I think her quote is, I don't remember, rock bottom was a foundation in which she built her dream upon. Do you know the one I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that really inspires me, because she was a single mother in a one bedroom. I think it was a one bedroom.
Yeah.
Or hospital. In a small flat, looking after her child with depression. And now I think she was a billionaire, but now a millionaire because she's donated so much to charity. And she's just got an amazing series and brand that's doing really well. So do you envision yourself kind of going the J.K. Rowling route, getting into films? And
I wouldn't mind it.
wouldn't mind. I think a lot of us wouldn't mind. I think that would be fantastic. So let's talk about your book then, XXIV Unbreakable. What inspired you to write this, first of all?
Well, it was just I always had the idea. I always came up with ideas. I just never thought I would make one a proper book, and I was bored. I didn't have much to do, and we all know I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have time. So I had the idea. I thought I might put it on paper, and then one thing turned to another. I ended up publishing it, and well, that's how it happened, I guess.
Yeah, amazing. Did you hear that? She was bored during the summer holidays. If you're a young person at home, I know, because I come from a teaching background, and you say to young people when you get back, how was your holiday? Bored, boring. So look how Mekelle used her gifts and her talents during that time to do something and come up with something so valuable, and that's going to entertain and inspire a lot of people. She's written an 84,000 word novel, XXIV Unbreakable. What an amazing young lady. So if you've just tuned in, you are watching Book Journey Mentor Uncut, a show that offers a platform to authors to really share their stories, share their book journey, but also gives you inside tips into behind the scenes. So my name is Daniela Blechner. I'm an author, book journey mentor, found a company called Conscious Dreams Publishing. We work with authors from all over the world to help them to get their powerful messages and stories out there on a global scale. So today I'm interviewing our youngest author, Mekelle, who goes by the name of M. Angel, who's written an 84,000 word sci-fi / fantasy novel called XXIV Unbreakable. So you say your one of your favorite genres is sci-fi and fantasy. Tell me what it is you like about those
I like the fact
genres.
anything is possible in them. Like, if you want something to happen, then just make it happen.
I love that. It's that simple. So
Yeah.
if you want something to happen, just make it happen. Create it.
Yeah.
Love it. So, Mom, how do you feel? Your daughter is a published author. How do you feel?
It feels amazing because I remember when she was younger, she would be using the papers and I'll get so angry with her. You are wasting the paper, Mika, put the paper down. And then we go shopping and then, Mommy, we need to buy paper. And I'm just a Mekelle. But then I've realized that all that was not in vain. I mean, she was building up something great. And out of that, this is what is happening now. So I'm so grateful and I can't believe how she did it. It's unbelievable. Sometimes when she was on computer, I'm like, get off the computer. What are you doing, Mom? I'm writing. I'm like, okay. Because you always think when they're on the computer, they're either on YouTube or doing something but
Yeah.
it's always a Mommy, no, I'm only writing. I'm like, okay, then you can go on. But this is what is, has come out of it. It feels amazing, and she's only 13. And,
Yeah.
it feels good. I've got little
Amazing.
in my house.
It's like, honestly, when you're reading this, it literally was, you forget that this is written by a 13-year-old girl, and I'm in the mind of the characters and I'm on that journey with them, and the way you write is so believable in terms of your characterization, in terms of the plot. It's unbelievable to really think that she was on the computer literally living and bringing to life this whole world.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. And so, Mum, how important do you think it is then for parents, guardians, family, friends, to really support young people in achieving their dreams? Because I know that yourself and Mekelle's father have been extremely supportive, and I think it's really made a difference. It's allowed this dream to really come through. So first of all, I want to thank you. There's Charlotte Barrett who's watching right now as well, who actually referred your friend who referred you to Conscious Dreams Publishing. So thank you so much, Charlotte, for trusting this lovely lady with Conscious Dreams Publishing and for connecting us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Karen says, I can imagine how proud you are, Mom. So, Mom, then tell me what you think. How important is it for us to really support young people?
I think it's very important because you don't really hear much about teenagers these days. And everybody thinks that all teenagers are the same. They sleep, they don't do anything, they don't do any housework. But I don't think so, because when you meet teenagers, they really have a lot to offer. So I think it's important to find what your children, or if you work in with children, find what they are good at and try and build it up. Try and encourage them. Anything at all is possible. Tell them how good they are at it, and anything you can do to support the child, or whichever wherever you work with children, and encourage them and tell them anything is possible. And like we were talking about J.K. Rowling, I mean, you look at the woman and you can tell the sky is your limit. You can fly anywhere you want to go with teenagers.
Yeah.
And I think they need a lot of support from parents, from anyone in the media, on TV. I think teenagers these days need a lot of support and encouragement to help them achieve their dreams, because they have a lot to offer. When you sit with them, you realize how deep they are in thinking that things that they can achieve, but sometimes they need that push to help them get there. So it's very important. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's a really powerful message. So to nurture and to encourage and to inspire and to really take notice of what our young people are doing and the talents that they have. And if they're not sure about what talents they have, help them to discover those talents. That should be journey. It should be exciting. Show them people about, you know, like Mekelle, like Romeo, who I interviewed last week, 10-year-old who's written his own book, you know, amazing. So let's talk about then the story in itself. Where did that come from? I know it's come from your imagination, but what made you think of like such an intricate story? And can you describe to the audience what that story is about?
Well, I knew the beginning and the end from the very start. The middle was kind of hard to construct, but as I kind of like, I went through days, I would like see what people would do and realize that, oh, this could be a good part of the story, and I tried to make it as interesting as possible. I mean, it kind of just came from living life and seeing things, experiencing things, and trying to turn it into a good story to tell. And it kind of all came together at the end in a better than I could have imagined it. And it's more of just what you see and what you can do with it, and that's where it came from.
Beautiful. So I really like that you had the beginning in your head and you had the end. That often does help because it kind of gives you that thread, and then the rest of it was discovering through just writing and actually enjoying the process as well. Hello Brenda. Hi Sayum. I like that you spoke about, you know, you're inspired by everyday life, so it could be things that just happened at school maybe that gave you an idea for your characters to interact. Was that right? Yeah, brilliant. Can you tell the audience a little bit about what the story is about?
It's about a 15-year-old girl. She just moved to a new school. And a year ago, she found out she wasn't like all her friends. She was preternatural. She can.
Can't stop there because people might. I didn't know what a preternatural is. In fact, I was calling it preternatural. Can you explain? I'm sure the audience probably do, but could you explain to the audience, just in case they don't know, what is a preternatural?
A preternatural is just another word for a superhuman. Like just enhanced in any way.
Okay.
Yeah. So she discovered this, and she let people at school discover. And instead of being very alienating, instead of alienating her, they kind of help her, and then they soon realize that there are others like her, but not all of them are good people. And some of them, they try to like, they believe that they are salvation. They believe they're supposed to rule this world. And what the book does is just she has to step up and like be like, you can't do that. You have to use these gifts to become a better person and better the world, and not try and rule it. And that's
Lovely. So I love that message at the end. So it's about this struggle, not even so much struggle. Maybe it's this a power. There's a lot of things of power and domination, and actually, do we need someone to dominate the world, or do we just need to work together as a team and use our gifts and talents for good? Is that right?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this girl is 13 years old. Are you hearing the wisdom coming from her mouth? She has written an 84,000 word sci-fi / fantasy novel, which is right here, called XXIV Unbreakable. It's ready on pre-order right now. You can get it from Amazon and all good channels, but go to Amazon because we want to help us climb up that bestseller list. I will drop the link to the books and to the book launch, which we'll talk about later. If you're inspired by this interview, we've only been speaking for 10 minutes, but if you've been inspired, please do invite your followers, share this out, tell people about this amazing young lady. If you know any bookstores, any press, any schools that you could think could benefit from really highlighting, showcasing and offering opportunities to this amazing young lady who goes by the name of M Angel, and her book, please do get in contact as well. So you go by the pen name M Angel. Tell us why. Why do you go by M Angel? What does that mean?
Go on then. It's I don't really know. It's more of just I don't think there's a real proper reason. I just thought it sounded cooler, to be honest.
It sounded.
It is a cool name. Mum, does she have qualities of an angel?
She does, yeah, but as a typical teenager, you know, sometimes.
I like that. As a typical teenager, no.
She's really good girl,
Yeah.
very helpful. She's always doing home, chores at home, helping me,
Lovely.
hanging out, washing. So yeah, she's really good. And she doesn't
Amazing.
she doesn't talk back when she's being told off. She just smile at me and then she will walk off or something. But yeah,
She
yeah.
might write about it in the book. All right. So what did you find challenging when you were writing the book?
Oh, the worst thing, the most challenging thing was filling in the sections. Because, like I said, I knew the beginning and the end, but the middle was completely empty, and it was so hard to try and transition between section to section because sometimes you know what's supposed to happen, you just don't know how to transition into what's supposed to happen, and then you're kind of blank, and you're just thinking, what can I do to make it interesting, but also keep it moving.
But it all flows really, really well. And each section is told from a different character's point of view, which I thought was really clever. Was there a reason for that at all? Why did you choose to have the book written from different points of views?
I've always written in first person. I think it's the most, you can get the most emotion out of it. But then one
Yeah.
person can be in the same place all the time. And so I thought if I do from different characters' points of view, I can get different emotions from different characters, and I can you can see more than what one character would see. You can see what multiple characters could see
Yeah.
and understand of the situation.
Excellent, excellent, great answer. Janessa says, can't wait to meet and support you at your book launch. So very proud of you. Carol says, awesome, isn't she? Jason Lee says, well done. Lots of support there. Sharon says, well done. Karen says, well done. She's giving the high five, hands up. Fantastic. If you have any questions for Mekelle, please do throw them up, and I'm sure she will answer the questions as well. Any questions for Mum too? So, so the kind of doing the transitioning was a little bit challenging. Talk to me a bit about the characters then. Do you have a favourite character and why?
My favorite character was Reagan because she's just awesome. I mean, if I could do what she could do, I would go on top of the world. It's just fun because for little day things like when you're too lazy to like go to get the remote, just like flick your fingers, it just comes towards you. That's like a big change the world the way she does. I mean,
Yes.
win-win.
It's a win-win. I love it. You can get things to come to you and you can save the world as well. So talking about you'd love to embody some of her characteristics, is there any qualities that she has that you have, do you think?
I mean, I think she might be a little braver than me. I like to think I'm pretty brave. She's no nonsense, just like my mother. She's practically a little version of my mum, to be honest.
She's a version of your mom. Superhero, no nonsense. I love it. Okay, fantastic. She's quite a bit of a leader as well, isn't she?
Yeah, definitely. She
Excellent.
knows how to pick up the mood. Like when people feel really down, she knows how to help them rise up from whatever's just happened.
Beautiful, beautiful. And your lovely mother sitting there. What are the qualities you really love about your mother?
Loving and kind, and she's helpful, and she knows what to do. She's very calm and collected in terrible situations. It's just
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Janessa says, super mom. Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Theo, for coming in. If you're just tuning in, my name is Daniela Blechner. You are watching Book Journey Meant to Uncut, the show that offers a platform to up-and-coming, new and established authors. I'm interviewing the awesome, amazing Mekelle M. Angel. She is Conscious Streams Publishing's youngest author, 13 years old. She's written an 84,000 word sci-fi / fantasy novel. As soon as she sent that manuscript in, it did take a while to read, but it was a page turner. It's so, for someone who's not a natural sci-fi reader, you really got me into that genre. I've actually watched quite a few sci-fi films since. A really great read. It's gripping. She's created characters that are believable. And what I love, and when the editor as well commented on this as well, we never change the authentic voice of the author, never. It's just we make suggestions about, maybe rejigging things. We just make it so that all the spelling, punctuation, works, and the copy edit, which is about making sure that fact checking. So we haven't changed her voice, we haven't changed anything really that you've written. And even the editor, when she was writing, says that in one of the comments, was that she could really feel how well you've done in creating character through dialogue. And I thought that was something that's not easy for anyone really to get. I think you did that really well. What do you think?
I guess I always planned out what type of character would be which. I mean, I knew which character would be the smart one, and I knew who'd be the jokey one, who'd be the leader, who'd be the encourager. So I guess it was kind of more natural to create characters through what they say, what they do. Like if I want to give a line to for someone to say, I know who to give it to based on the way they behave and how I want them
Brilliant.
to behave and where I imagine them.
Amazing. So you kind of attribute different qualities to different characters, so that you instantly know what kinds of dialogue that they might have or what kind of lines they might say according to how you vision them. Yeah.
Yeah. I also heard this piece of advice online. It said that write down 10 things about each character the reader will never know, and it will kind of lead into the story as you write. And it actually really did. It really helped because then I built the character. All I did was put them in a story as if they were already there, as if you already knew them, kind of.
That's a great piece of it. I might take that and put it in a workshop. That was really good. Okay, so if you're a potential author or an aspiring author or an author, really good piece of advice there. If you're creating a fiction book, if you're creating characters, write down 10 things about your characters. In fact, I'm going to do it for my children's story. Write down 10 things about your character that your reader will never know. It doesn't need to be in the book. And that helps you to create some sort of backstory, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that helps you then to create layers of character. Very clever. I like that. What other advice have you got? What else have you learned?
I've learned that don't think too hard about it. The harder you think, then the less natural it becomes. Just let it flow naturally. Don't overthink.
Love it. So you got some really good advice there. So don't overthink. Let it flow natural. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have some hearts, some love for the amazing Angel, Mekelle, and Mother Celestine, who are here talking about her 84,000 word sci-fi fantasy novel. She's given some golden nuggets here and encouraging such just dropping the knowledge on us right now. Sharon says, this is such a breath of fresh air listening to such a young, talented author. Keep shining, Mekelle. What a lovely message.
Yeah.
So, Mekelle, obviously you are quite young. I don't know how much you kind of like consume news and information. Do you think that young people are represented in a positive way in the media? If not, do you think there needs to be more positive stuff?
They're definitely not represented that well. I mean, I get not all teenagers are shining stars, but like all you ever hear in news is people getting stabbed or teenagers getting hit by cars and getting into fights. You don't really hear about the good things they do because they do a lot of good things. And so I think that they should be put in a positive light. They should shine lights on the good things they do and not just the stabbings and the dying and the pain that comes with being a teenager.
Beautiful. So beautifully. You're so articulate. Honestly, you really are. Joanna says, amazing, articulate young lady. It's so true. In fact, we are doing our utmost best to make sure that Mekelle gets the press coverage that she needs and that people need to see, because they need to see the shining examples of people who are young teenagers who are doing great work. So well, watch out for press, because I'm predicting you're going to get some really good press. We're working hard behind the scenes to get her into some papers, some radio interviews, to encourage and to inspire and empower other young people, but also to show a different side to young people. So thank you so much just for being you. Tell us a little bit about your publishing journey, because obviously the writing is one aspect of it. How did you find the publishing journey? Is it what you expected? What did you enjoy?
It's definitely not what I expected. I expected to just like hand off the book and then in a few months I get back published. I didn't realize there's so much into it, but I'm kind of glad I did, because now I've learned responsibility. I've learned how to meet deadlines and to put the best into something, because it's not just you working with it. And I'm so happy what happened, because now I know what I need to do. I feel like I'm more mature now. The journey for the book, it was really fun. I guess it was a hobby, so I liked doing it anyway. I mean, like, I cried at the end of the book because the reason it would be a spoiler, but I was just I was almost in tears, and my mum came in, asked me what I was crying for. When I told her, she just looked at me like, why? And it was like, it's just an amazing journey, and to any young authors, I hope you get a chance to take it, because it is totally worth it.
Oh, Mekelle, I think you make me cry. Yeah, one thing I do want to say is that, Mekelle, you are the number one person for meeting deadlines. Number one. Every day, I don't know where you get the time, and because she's written 84,000 words, I don't know how, and she does it thoroughly. So one part of the publishing journey, and in fact, just jumping quickly to what you said at the beginning, you thought that you'd sort of hand the manuscripts over, and then, you know, buttons pressed, and then 2 months later you have this like book. A lot of people do think that. A lot of people do think that, and it's great to actually go through the process. And this is why I do this. I want people to know it's a process. Karen, you're watching, you know it's a process. So the first stage is the editing. The editing can be quite a bit of back and forth. It can take quite long. And obviously you've written 84,000 words. So we would send her back, you know, detailed comments on each bit. We'd obviously do the proofreading, doesn't need commenting on, but there's parts where we might comment on character, or, you know, you need to maybe reference this here because this hasn't been, like, we need a bit of a backstory here. I would say to her, look, send this back to me within 10 days, 24 hours sometimes, 48 hours before deadline. She's read through the whole thing, and she's commented on each comment, and she's addressed it and done it in blue in a different color. She's just followed every single instruction to a T, and just exceeded my expectations. Not that I have any expectation, but you exceeded like anyone that I've worked with in that sense of just kind of just getting back to things so quickly, which shows your passion. And you weren't up too late, were you?
Well, no, definitely not. No.
Looking at mum. No, I wasn't up late. But, you know, I'm so proud of you. Obviously, I've only met you once, but I've worked with you very closely, and I'm so proud of, you know, every single phone call when we've spoken, you've taken on board the things that we've said. You stand by your vision as well. It's easy to kind of look at things like the cover and say, yeah, I like it. But Mekelle would say, not afraid to say, actually, can we change this? Can we tweak that? And I love that, because you know what you want. And I think that's really powerful. So never change that. Keep that. Very important. Karen, definitely it's a process. So I agree with Mekelle. Fortunately, I didn't write as many words as she did. Well done. That's fine. Yeah, the edit can be quite tough sometimes, I think. But once you get out of that stage and you're into the designing stage, that's my favorite stage. We can get on to like book cover and what it's going to look like inside. So let's talk about this book cover. Can we this book cover was done by CVAJ, who I'm sure he'll watch this. I'll tag him in a bit later. So he also did Karen's book cover as well. Talk us through the book cover. Why did you choose this? What does it represent, and what do you think of the book cover?
I always wanted to to put to represent the mystical side to the story on the front cover. I feel like that's the most intriguing part of it. And my mum helped with the design, my sister helped with the design. And we came up with this this image, and I actually really liked it. It was different, it was cool. I love the way her eyes are like glowing in that sort of way. And I wanted it to represent something really cool and special. And I think that's what Jay did an amazing job doing that. And I don't think I could have picked a better, or I could have worked with a better designer.
Oh, amazing! She just said she couldn't have worked with a better designer. I hope that you're listening to this, Jay, and that you have heard that, because I know that you've worked so well as well. So talk to us a little bit about, did you send us the book and we just kind of came up with it? So let's talk to people just a little bit about the process, so that they know a little bit about behind the scenes.
Well,
how did you work with Jay?
We had a call with Jay. We kind of just did a rough draft of the background. We all chipped in, gave little ideas, and then after he came up with a draft, he sent us a bit of the progress work. It looked really cool, and then he sent us the final copy, and I was so happy with it. It was perfect. It was cool. He chose the font, and I think it was a perfect font for this sort of book. It just looked so just how I imagined it, because I always had an image of what I wanted it to look like, and I think we captured that perfectly. It was a hard process, but it was worth it, just like this entire thing. You know, you get to meet good people like Danni and Claire and everyone else who edited and helped with the book. And the front cover is just a part of the process you do, because it's amazing, really.
Awesome, thank you. So she mentioned Claire. Claire is our book promotion package officer. I don't know where that's come from, but she handles all the book promotion. So she's done some posters for you. She's also contacted some press as well. So you've had a call with her and you've talked about the vision and what you want to do next. And what you want the posters to look like. So it's all a process, and you've just worked so well throughout that process. I'm really excited to see you again on the 26th. So tell people about what's happening on the 26th.
26th of January, Saturday. It is a book launch. It's in Wembley at Holiday Inn from 6 to 9. It's just the release date. It's just where you go if you want to get a copy. I'm probably going to sign a lot of them. It's just
come and see Mekelle.
just come and see. I mean, come along. Anyone's welcome. I hope it's going to be fun.
Yes, it is. So come down. You heard it here first. Saturday, the 26th of January in Wembley at Holiday Inn. Come down. We've sold quite a few tickets already. I'm going to pop a link in the comments below. Mekelle's book is also available for pre-order. www.tinyurl.com XXIV the book. I'm going to put that link down there as well. So please do pre-order your copies. The more copies that are bought, the higher chance that she will have climbing up that bestseller list. I really know that you're going to do well. And I know that there's so many people out here who are willing to support you, who've already shared out this broadcast, who will be coming to your book launch and are really inspired by what you've done and what you do. So any final words then for any young authors that I think, or just authors in general, because there's so many people that I speak to, adults, who really want to write a book, but they're a little bit scared. What would you say to them?
There's nothing to fear. I mean, it's a fun process. It's a good process. I mean, if you want to do something, then there's nothing stopping you from doing it. You should go along, follow your passions. If you want to, then you can. I mean, it's worth it in the end. Trust me.
Yeah. You heard it here first. You said it's worth it in the end. Mekelle, thank you so much. You have done, and please show her some love, throw out some emojis and some hearts. Yeah, sending her lots of love. That's lovely. You have done amazingly well, considering this is your very first live broadcast and your very first book, debut book. It's like you've been doing this forever, and I think you're absolutely born for this. You're gifted, you're talented, and those two things are fantastic. You can be gifted and talented, but if you're not willing to put in the work, that talent can often be wasted. You are gifted and talented, and you're very hardworking and committed, and that is the ingredients to just success. So I'm going to leave you now and say thank you so much, Mum. Thank you so much for being such a supportive parent as well, alongside Dad too. And I hope you're all being inspired, encouraged, and we'll hopefully see you all at the launch. Thank you so much for the love. Please do share this out and let people know about this amazing young lady. And as I said, if you know any retailers, bookstores, libraries, schools, press, please get in contact. Let them know about this awesome and amazing young lady. Mekelle, thank you so much. It's time now to say bye-bye. You've done an awesome job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye. Thank you. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. GMT, where I'll have a special guest who I will reveal in a couple of days. All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.